Who has had the most unexpected positive impact on your life?
My stepdad, because he's taught me self-respect. He's taught me to rely more on my family and not try to grow up as fast as I would hope to. He taught me that managing my own money is a good thing, especially having a job and being so young. I don't throw temper tantrums like I used to.
That's good.
I respect him more than what I thought I would respect a step-parent. And I kind of adopted him as my father because he's such a good impact on the whole family.
I would have to say my big sister, Brianna. She was just kind of always a superhero to me growing up, and she still kind of is in that way that she's like my role model. She's just so confident and just like so glowing and everything. So I just kind of strive to be as confident as she is and try to find like what my purpose in life, I guess, because she's very driven, she's very outgoing, and like she just knows what she wants to do. So yeah.
I would say my brother, mostly because he just reminds me every day to smile and to be myself and not take what everybody else says to heart.
That would be my Uncle Mark, because he kind of stepped in and filled the void when my dad left, when I moved here. So he kind of looked out for me, and he would say that he would hunt down anyone who would make fun of me anyway. And then John came in and kind of filled the void too, so all is good in the world. Yay!
I think it would have to be, and this is going to sound a little corny, but it's very true, my wife. Unexpected because we met working together one summer while we were both in college, and we worked together that summer, and then we both went back to our respective colleges and went on with our lives, but kept in touch, and that friendship evolved into becoming best friends, evolved into falling in love and getting married. And I was at a point in my life in college and looking forward to my future that I certainly did not expect to meet my life partner, but I did, and that has been the person that has it came at me unexpectedly, but that's the person that has stood by me and been a helpmate to me in our subsequent marriage and for the last 24 years that we've been married, and it's been wonderful and surprising all at the same time. So that's who it is.
In my specific field of study, I'd say Andrew Kramer and Video Copilot inspired me the most to become a visual effects and motion graphics artist. He's the godfather of After Effects, and he's taught probably every person who's ever learned After Effects how to do it. He's been doing it for like 10 plus years, and he has like 150 tutorials on his website. Anyone who uses After Effects, you can say that name and they'll know exactly what you're talking about.
I'd have to say the person who has the biggest impact on my life isn't even a person I personally know. I'd have to say it's the writer John Green, because the books he has written have become kind of a part of me. It's like he gave me a little bit of his soul in a book, and it's really just a beautiful thing to be able to read his words and kind of hear him saying the things even though it's the characters saying them. And I think it's just really special, and all the fun charity things he does and his video blogging, he's really been a part of my life for a long time.
My aunt, she's taught me so much about character and responsibility and what it means to be a good sister, and I've learned so many life lessons from her, and she's been kind of like a step-in mom at some times. And it's just great to have someone like her in my life, and she's a person I can just look up to and ask anything, no matter what the circumstances. And it's great to have someone who's like a rock like that for you in your life, because it makes the hard times so much easier. And I'm really grateful and happy. She's taught me so much about just what it means to have faith and to be a good person, so I'm really thankful to have her in my life.
Beyonce, and I know that sounds really superficial, but when you look at it, Beyonce is one of the first female artists to have such an impact career. Plus, she comes from a non-white background, which is influential to me as a Asian American. And what else? She's a leader in feminism, and I really appreciate that. And she's preached about, well, not like preached, but she's given speeches and writings about gender equality and the systematic oppression of the patriarchy, and I really admire her and her music, and I think she's a beautiful singer and a beautiful soul, and I really just she inspires me to do awesome things. Well, not that I've done any awesome things, but eventually in my life if I do, yeah.
I think that it's been a number of people. I come from a family of very strong women, and I think that they have impacted my life, starting with my grandmother, who outlived her husband by several years, but up until she was 99, she was very strong in her faith and very much a matriarch as for our family. And my other grandmother passed away sooner, but she also lived by herself as long as I've known her. She was very strong in her faith, and my mother as well. I think that they have told me that I could do anything that I wanted to be, and it didn't matter whether you're a man or woman or anything. Everything that you want to do is possible if you have faith and belief. So I am very thankful for the women in my life.
The person who's impacted my life the most is my youth pastor, Emily Edwards. She's been my youth pastor since I was in 5th grade. So she's seen me through all my worst awkward stages. She really... Okay, so my parents set an amazing moral foundation for me when I was younger, and that really had an impact on my life. But Emily really took that and kind of made me who I am today. So she was always supportive of me, and she was always someone I could just talk to if I had anything going on, and she wasn't afraid to be honest with me. She would always set me straight if I was wrong. And she would always give me really good advice. Yeah, I know I'm a better person because she's in my life. And she's, yeah.
My dad, he taught me how to, be an adult and survive in this world, and he loved me, and I feel like I've learned a lot from just watching him be my dad. I think that's all I can say.
The person that impacted me the most is a teacher that I had in middle school and then again in high school. She, in high school, was very impressionable, and things to me tended to be the end of the world, whether it was a bad grade or a breakup, and she taught me that if it doesn't kill you, then it's not the end of the world, which was a very powerful statement and stuck with me through college and through life up to this point still, and made me realize that I was often too hard on myself for little things. And since then, when I am difficult on myself, I think back to that statement that if it doesn't kill me, it's not the end of the world. So it's taught me to be better and to move on and to always look forward.
A lot of people have had an impact on my life, but I think probably my dad had the most. My dad was a pastor, and he always hoped that I would someday be a pastor, and sort of planted that seed in my heart that I would do that, but I sort of went the other way and was trying to become a teacher and a musician and doing different things. But in the long run, he was right, and God had called me to be a pastor, and so I followed in his footsteps, which made my dad very happy. And now, even though he's not with us anymore, I know he's happy with my choice, and I feel like I'm carrying on his legacy as I continue my ministry.
My parents, John and Terry Gill, because they raised me into who I am today, and they still put up with me and love me.
You mean other than Juan Valdez? Okay, seriously. The person that's had the biggest impact on my life is my wife. It could be a lot of other people, Juan not included, because we all know how much I love coffee. But truth is that it's my wife. I met her the first day of college orientation. I've never looked back, and I wouldn't know what my life would look like without her in it. But I can say that it wouldn't be as full. I've had a great life, a full life, so far. I mean, I'm only in my late 30s, So we're hoping that there's many years to come. But yeah, 3 kids, a wonderful house in Florida, graduated college, all things with her. All things that would be less without her. You know, we look at our lives as pictures, or at least I look at my life as pictures. And when I look back at the snapshots that I've taken of my life, there isn't a significant milestone since I became an adult that didn't have her in it. Some way, shape, or form, she was always there, even when she wasn't physically there. Kind of weird. I spent a lot of time on the road when I first started, when I first graduated from college, and it would have been really easy to go our separate ways at that point, but she was already a part of me. So how do you go your separate way from someone that's a part of you? How do you leave your arm at home? You don't. And when you find that person that impacts your heart, it's almost harder to leave that person out of something than it would be to leave without your arm. So to judge who had the most impact on your life, look at the snapshots of your life, and that should tell you an easy story. Because everything that you do when you're with that person, or that person's not physically present, that person's still there. And they always will be. At least I hope so. So far, for 20 years, she's kept me around, so we're hoping it's still good. Bye.